Hello and welcome to the first episode in a while that we've done of the Second Take podcast with Leighton Brower and Kieran Costa. Today, it is a big day. Well, it's kind of a big day.
It was a big day.
Yeah. It was a big day today and yesterday.
Day before that, too, you could say.
It's been big days in the last.
Think about this. 3 days ago.
I could see that as a plausible option.
Now, really think hard about this one. 1 week ago.
1 week. It's possible. It's possible.
Classic Office reference to get us going for this baseball tier list.
So, as you probably know, because all of our fans are avid baseball people.
The whole world is avid baseball fans.
Very true. Very true. And so the MLB trade deadline has just passed. Yeah. So we're going to talk about some of the things that have happened, and then we're going to rank teams based on how we think they're going to perform when it comes to the playoffs for the rest of the season and the playoffs incoming eventually. Let's change this.
We'll start with the Yankees. Not that good. Okay. We'll start with the Yankees. The Yankees' big acquisitions, Joey Gallo, Anthony Rizzo, 2 left-handed power bats. As
I would
we all
say they're
know,
probably a playoff lock, in my opinion.
They're not, because they're not in the playoffs right now. They're still 2.5 games out. 2 after tonight's win over the Marlins. They added
acquisitions.
They added 2 power left-handed bats, which we all know. Left-handed bats are conducive to Yankee Stadium with the short porch down the right field line. I'll put them at the top of borderline playoffs. They're 2.5 out of the wild card. But the A's and Rays are still ahead of them, and both those teams made acquisitions as well. So it's going to be a fight there. The Mariners are also ahead of the Yankees in the playoff push.
Unlucky.
By a half game.
It's quite a lot.
So I have to put them on borderline playoffs. I don't really think they're going to make it. They traded Kendall Graveman, who was their best reliever. So I don't love that move for them. I'm going to put them behind the Yankees in borderline
I would too. I think the Yankees will have a good push in the second half of this season.
Yankees also added Andrew Heaney. Just a good horse of a starter you can add to that rotation. With Kluber and Severino hopefully getting healthy over the next month, this team should make the playoffs. The Rays had the first wild card spot and are only a half game behind Boston. They're a playoff lock at this point.
Wait, they're 7 games ahead of the Yankees.
Yeah, the Yankees aren't going to win the division. Wow. The Yankees are going for the – but I put the Rays as a playoff lock, and I think the Rays win this division over Boston.
You think so?
Yeah.
No bias coming to that, yeah?
No. I hate the Rays. Not as much as the Red Sox, but I hate the Rays.
Okay.
The Blue Jays.
Toronto.
Okay. I don't want to put the Blue Jays in not that good because the Blue Jays are very good and have a very bright future.
But they're also not borderline playoffs, and they're not.
/ next year. Like, we need to add one more, which is, like, definitely next year.
We can put that not that good. We can put that not that good.
Yeah. The Blue Jays are a team that are very young and are definitely the best team and not that good, but I don't see them pushing or making the playoffs this season.
That's pretty unlucky, actually. They have a pretty good win percentage, and they're just 4th in the
AL East, yeah.
AL
Miami is rebuilding, but they're like mid-rebuild. Like, I'd put like the Rangers as a team that are starting the rebuild. Miami is mid-rebuild. Like, they have the young pieces. They're all coming up through the organization.
I would say they're top. Then they're top rebuilding.
Yeah, I'd put them at the top of rebuilding. The Cardinals just aren't that good. Cardinals are not that good. Cardinals, like, theoretically have the pieces, and it has not worked out as they hoped. Cardinals is the only team you've seen play live behind the Giants.
That's okay. Yeah, that's true. You're not the only.
The Astros are a playoff lock. in a bad division.
This is one of your favorite teams, right?
I hate the
Yes,
Astros
correct
with a
me,
passion.
but-
I have these Houston Trastros.
Yeah, you have an Astros jersey, yes, right? So
Houston Trastros that I probably should have worn on this pod, but my goodness, they're good. They added Kendall Graveman, who's a good piece out of that pen. They added Phil Maton, which is another good piece out of that pen. Yeah.
but you wouldn't say they're contending for the World Series.
I
Even
would.
if they, do a little shady
I would.
something
I would.
here or there.
I was wrong. I forgot we had World Series contender as an option.
Okay.
They're definitely there.
Yeah, I was about to say with the second best record in baseball. I mean,
yeah, they're definitely there.
you gotta give that to them.
The Braves. Okay, so the Braves made a lot of moves. The Braves made a lot of moves today. Let me pull it up real quick.
Let's see.
The Braves made a lot of moves. They added Richard Rodriguez from the Pirates, who is a very underrated closer, and he's just no one really knows who he is because he's playing in Pittsburgh. Jorge Soler is a good power bat they added from Kansas City. Oh, I swear they and then they added Eddie Rosario from the Indians at the time. So like they obviously tried to get better. They made their moves. But still without Ronald Acuna, they're 3.5 out of a division in a very close division. They can't be that far out of a wild card. Never mind. They're 8 out of a wild card. Yeah. They're gonna be at the bottom of not that, or they're gonna be at the top of not that good. Below the Blue Jays, though. Because I like the Blue Jays' future a lot more. The Orioles are rebuilding. The Orioles are junk. The Indians have had like a sneaky good year.
Whoa.
What?
Oh no. We still have to wait for next season.
Yeah. Indians, soon to be the Guardians, have had like a sneaky good year, better than expectations, but they're rebuilding. I hate to say it for Guardians fans. Also, like the pure laziness from that organization to call them the Guardians, like they're keeping the same font. They're keeping the same font.
It's a cool interlinked thing with their.
It was going to be the Cleveland Spiders, which was like their team name in like 1850 when they first were created. That would have been so sick with like retro jerseys and stuff. Literally, they're trying to save money. So instead of changing the entire billboard, they just have to take off the IND and change it to a guard and keep the Ians with the line under. It's piss poor management from.
But you know why? That probably plays a part into it. But they have in Cleveland, they have these statues. What's it? I saw this on Twitter. I'm pretty sure it's real.
That
sounds real.
You're a reliable source for a real podcast. That's not a joke, you idiot. Too far. Okay.
I was gonna mess that up. But it's a thing with their city, basically, is what I'm trying to get at.
Colorado's rebuilding. I don't know why they didn't trade Trevor Story. That was the player I was hearing that was going to be traded for so long, and he just never was. So that's just a junk organization. They should be at the bottom of this list. The Tigers are in like sort of the same as the Marlins. Like they're outplaying expectations and they have the young pieces coming up. So like we really need like 3 more tiers for this list. I don't know. I don't think that's a possibility. Put them at the top of rebuilding.
Top of rebuilding.
Or put them below them. The Tigers and Marlins are sort of interchangeable. I like they're both mid rebuild. They're both what am I saying right now? They're mid rebuild with a bright future. Kansas City, put them below the Orioles. They're also rebuilding in a weird way.
These poverty organizations, man.
Brewers. I haven't seen that logo in ages. They're a playoff lock. Bordering on World Series contender.
Oh wow, really?
Like I like them coming out of a week. Okay, so they're locked to win their division, but the question is, I want to find the Padres and put them next to the Dodgers and the Giants because I want to talk about those 3 together. But yeah. They're definitely a playoff lock. They've pretty much clinched the division. They're in a very interesting situation. The Angels are just not that good. The Angels, in theory, have the best player maybe ever and Shohei Ohtani. So I don't know what is going on. Like
it doesn't make sense. How can you
have
have
to invest in pitching to make that team better? And I don't. Trout got injured. Sure, we can take this year as a wash, but one playoff series in his 10-year career, that's ridiculous. I can't.
What moves did they try to make?
They didn't. They sold. They sold.
Exactly.
They sold 2 bullpen arms. I don't like it at all.
They didn't help their team at all. Well,
what? What did you say? You cut out for a second there.
I don't know.
Okay.
The Oakland A's.
Are a playoff lock. Because the A's are here 5.5 out of a division. No, they're ahead of the Yankees on borderline playoffs because the Yankees are going to be fighting for their spot. The A's did something at the deadline. They added the A's added Starling Marte, who is very good. He's like a very serviceable center fielder from the Marlins. But he's a pure rental. So they're only going to have him for half of this season. Then he's going to enter the free agent market. And they traded Jesus Luzardo, who was their top prospect and had Cy Young odds in the shortened season. He was like that highly touted as a prospect. So I do not like that at all because Jesus Luzardo is under contract to 2027 for the Marlins. So the Marlins really won that trade. They also added Yan Gomes and Josh Harrison from the selling Nationals. But I still think the Yankees can come for that spot. Well,
we'll see.
The Phillies and the Braves are both 3.5 out of their division.
In a weak division, though. In a weak division,
sure. Move the Mets up here. Move the Mets up here because I want to talk about the Mets together with the Phillies. The Mets have a 3.5 game lead on the Phillies. And what was the other team? The Braves. But I like the Phillies added Kyle Gibson, who's a quality starter, and Ian Kennedy, who's strong out of a bullpen. They brought back someone who they love, Freddie Galvis, who was on the team for like 5-6 seasons. But I don't think that's enough. I just don't think that's enough. I want to put them above the Braves and not that good. Like both those teams really like bought a lot at the trade deadline, but I don't think either made.
But they are contending for their playoff spot, are they not?
The Mets, I want to put it on as a playoff lock.
I swear you just said both.
Oh, I was talking about the Braves and the Phillies there. Both the Braves and the Phillies bought a lot at the deadline. But they are sort of like underrated moves. And so the Braves and the Phillies can only shots at making the playoffs is overtaking the Mets. And I trust the Mets. The Mets added Javier Baez, who was like a top 3 shortstop in the MLB. So with Lindor and Baez, that middle infield is ridiculous. DeGrom had like a 2-week setback. He's the best player in baseball right now. You hate to see that. But the Mets will be a playoff hawk. Pirates are rebuilding. Rangers are rebuilding. Both those teams sold all of their players at the deadline.
Unlucky.
I think we might have to put some teams in not that good after this, but we can go. The Red Sox, sadly, are a playoff lock. The Red Sox and Rays are separated by half a game, and one of those teams will win the division, and one of those teams will drop into the wild card game.
Unlucky Yankees.
I put the Mets above the Rays. For some reason like this. Like I like Pete Alonso. I like Lindor and Baez up the middle. I like McNeil. Like I don't
3.5 games against teams that are comparable to
the Phillies and Braves have what it takes to win down the stretch to take this. Like
after buying so hard.
One of the Phillies, Braves, or Mets will make the playoffs, and the other 2 won't. So it's like one of those 3. There with.
Right, if I was betting on one of them, it would have to be the Mets, just because I'd say just because of their lead.
Yeah, and so like both these teams, both the Braves and Phillies made a lot of moves, but the Mets made the big one they had to. The Rays added. So just to go back to the Rays and Red Sox for a second, if we want to talk more trade deadline, both of them added power bats, and nothing else. The Rays added Nelson Cruz from the Twins, and the Red Sox added Kyle Schwarber from the Nationals. Like, I find both those signings are good signings, but they're not huge signings. So, like, I like both those signings. I think they did like what they had to stay alive. I like both those teams adding one bat. So I'll put both of them in playoff lock because I think one of them wins the division, one of them takes the wild card. But Padres, Giants, and Dodgers.
The Giants. Okay, well, first of all,
one of these teams is a World Series contender, and two of them are playoff locks.
I think the answer is obvious, and I think the answer goes right with the current records.
The Dodgers are the World Series contender.
No.
For sure.
Definitely not.
For sure. Maybe.
I completely disagree.
Maybe we can put the Giants there too. But the Giants added Chris Bryant, sure.
Exactly. Fine. Chris Bryant, yeah, you're just going to ignore that, blow that off.
But Dodgers doubled that with Trey Turner and Max Scherzer. The Dodgers saw, like, we have a problem with pitching. They added Scherzer. They don't have a problem with shortstop. Why not get a top 3 shortstop in the NL in Trey Turner to play second base? That's ridiculous. That team is like so stacked. Like, they theoretically should win the next 3 World Series. Like, they're poised for such a dynasty here. They're undoubtedly a World Series contender.
Then I would say they both have, because I don't see the Giants losing to anybody.
There's no way the Giants beat the Dodgers in the 7-game series, and that I hate to see.
Let's see. How many times are they? Let's see.
And I'm gonna say right now, because let's just do it. We'll do an MLB show this time. Let's after this look at the standings, and then finally do a mock bracket. And then we can talk about maybe the NBA finals at the end. But after this tier list, we should do a mock bracket to see where
I want to see how many times they've played and how many times
they've played. And the Giants, I think, have the lead there. But the Dodgers, like, yes, the Giants have dealt with minor injuries, but the Dodgers have dealt with major injuries this whole time and somehow stuck around. The Giants definitely have the season series lead.
I would say if you think the Dodgers are World Series contender, we can put them there, but I think the Giants are definitely a World Series
contender. Fine. We can put them both there, and then after this, let's do a mock bracket, and I'll show you how the Dodgers beat the Giants.
And the Padres
are playoff lock. The Diamondbacks are rebuilding. The White Sox are a playoff lock.
Twins.
The White Sox added Craig Kimbrell, which is ridiculous. So they have Liam Hendricks and Craig Kimbrell, too ridiculous. Closers there. The Twins, like, the expectations were very high coming into this season, and they have been a humongous letdown. But okay, well, both the Cubs and Nationals sold every player they had, so they're both the rebuilding.
Easy.
The Reds are just not that good. And the Twins, like, I guess, are rebuilding now. And let's move the Marlins and Tigers up into just not that good, because I think that's like a 1 year away type team.
Can't move the Twins thing. I can't move this whole thing. That's not good. Oh, it's here. Page unresponsive. We'll wait.
Okay.
Well, we know. We know.
Okay,
we know
so next, go see if you can find like a bracket that we can fill out. Look up like MLB playoff bracket and see if we can put in our own teams. Put like MLB playoff fillable bracket or something. Yeah, can we edit these? Can we edit this?
I don't
Yeah, go to like 20. Let me see. Okay, just open a blank Google Doc and I'll tell you what the matchups are. So put like AL on. There's AL, there's wild card game, DS and CS. Just WC. Okay, no. Wild card is WC. Then there's DS, Division Series, and CS. Just DS and CS. And then and then for the NL, it's the same three. All right, so I'll pull up the standings. You should pull them up as well, probably. So the wild card game in the AL. Wow, I want to say the Yankees pull it off so badly.
But they don't.
And I think they do. And
Look how many games behind they are.
2.5.
Well, you're
The
right.
wild card. But the wild card.
Oh.
I think they're gonna take the A's spot. And I think Tampa's gonna take Boston's spot. My wild card game prediction is the Yankees at the Rays.
Okay, so now let's do an unbiased one where we don't have the Yankees because they're terrible.
The Yankees are still there. The Yankees made the moves they have to put themselves in this game.
Okay.
But
sorry,
okay, fine. Put NYY/Oakland. We can put Yankees/Oakland because I don't think either team beats Tampa Bay or beats Boston. Okay. Versus the Red Sox. And I think that's an interesting one game. Okay, let's move on to the DS. The Ray, who will have the best record? The Astros. So Houston will play the winner of the wild card game, and the other division series matchup will be Chicago at Tampa Bay.
How do you abbreviate?
CHW. Chicago White Sox. We'll be playing Tampa Bay. It's TB. And then for the NL, the wild card game will be the Padres at the Giants.
I'm giving up on.
Yep. And then the division series, the Dodgers will play the winner of the wild card game. And then, so here I have the Dodgers.
Hold on. What is that?
The Dodgers,
what do you mean?
Dodgers will win the division.
Well, no. They won't.
Are you bugging right now? Did you see the moves they made?
You actually think this?
Yes, easily.
The Giants have added Christopher Bryant.
I don't think that's his actual name.
No, I don't think it is. It's
okay. I honestly think the Dodgers will have a strong second half and win this division. The Giants play the Padres. I don't see the Giants down the stretch playing as well as the Dodgers. Like, if the Dodgers get fully healthy, they're ridiculous.
The Giants are ridiculous.
Just on lineup.
The Giants
And
are
depth.
ridiculous.
And experience and age.
Experience? Oh.
Both teams have
experience.
But both
The
teams have the
Dodgers.
experience. Won the World Series last year, so every player on the roster. And Trey Turner and Max Scherzer, who just came from the Nationals, won in 2019. So, like, their entire roster has won in the last 2 years. So they all have playoff experience and big game experience. When was the last time Buster Posey played in a meaningful game? 2016. Every player on the Dodgers roster played in a big game in the last 2 years.
Why are they so good?
And
I believe. I don't think.
And I like the veteranship. It's not even leadership. I just like the veterans the Giants have. And I like him as a good team to maybe go deep in this playoffs. But I don't see them winning this division. Either way, sure. Let's put the Giants.
Regardless, it'll be Giants Dodgers in the
division series. And then the other division series will be Mets versus the Brewers. So now we have our playoff set. We'll put the Giants past the Padres in a thriller, which we should actually go to. Like, unironically, I want to go to like 3 of these playoff games for the Giants.
3? No, I don't know about 3.
Yeah.
I'll go to 1.
Yeah, not with you. I'll go to 1 with you.
What?
1 with not 3 with you. You don't like baseball.
I'm an avid baseball fan. I know baseball. That's why I'm doing this podcast. That's why I dragged you into doing a baseball episode.
Sure you did, Chief. Do the Yankees beat the Red Sox in a 1-game wild card?
No. No.
Okay. 1-game wild card. Boston beats the Yankees in a 7-game series. I completely agree with that. But 1-game wild card is who has a better ace pitcher.
It's a bit of a toss-up, but I think the Red Sox still.
It's not really a toss-up, though. It's who has a better starting pitcher.
No, it's a toss-up because it's a 1-game series.
Yeah, but it's who has a better starting pitcher. And that's the Yankees.
The Red Sox are definitely taking this one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure, fine.
See how easily you folded? If you actually truly believed it, and it wasn't just bias, it would have been a lot different. This conversation.
Yeah, but I've already pushed so hard for the Yankees to make the playoffs. I think they beat Boston in a 1-game wild card, but for the sake of this and getting through this to do some Sporkle, we'll say fine. But I do think that. But if the Yankees get to a wild card game, they can easily beat Boston with Garrett Cole pitching. Garrett Cole's the 2nd best pitcher in the MLB. Houston beats Boston pretty easily. And Chicago beats Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Dodgers beat the Giants for sure.
Fine. Mets versus Brewers.
Like a toss-up series with like 2 like weird like non like famous, I guess, teams.
Small market teams. Well, no, not at all. But
the Mets are
one small market. Yeah, one small market team and one
of the biggest market in sports.
Yeah,
but okay.
But overshadowed. There you go.
Lineup, Mets are better. Pitching staff, Brewers are better.
I think the Brewers take it. In a 7
trade deadline acquisition.
It's a 7-game series, yeah.
5-game series.
5. I think the Brewers still take it.
Sure. That's going to be such a fun series, though. That's going to be like an underrated series that not a lot of people are going to watch.
Who wants to watch the Brewers? I don't.
Houston wins, Dodgers win. Sets us up for a rematch of the 2017 World Series where the Astros cheated.
So, in this World Series,
Yeah.
what is the Dodgers' key to success? How can they make sure they definitely win?
Cheat like the Astros did.
Oh my God, I said the Dodgers.
Yeah, like I didn't really get the joke. Like I thought you were being
What can the
serious
Astros do to
and
definitely
in a
win?
joking tone. Yeah, I cheat, but I let's do a cheeky position by position comparison. I'm a big fan of position by position.
I think it's kind of not the best way to measure teams, but you can do it for your entertainment. It's fine.
Can you Google the starting lineup for both these teams and copy paste
I
it,
am.
please?
Or am I supposed to copy paste it? Can we just go through the thing? I have the players here.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. First baseman.
Has to
We
be
start
advantage
after that.
Dodgers, right? That's Max Muncy versus Yuli Gurriel. I can actually probably name him. You don't
Cody
need-
Bellinger. Is he not? He's at the top of the list.
But he's gonna play center field for them. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
The Giants are actually
Lee and-
playing the Astros right now. So that's gonna be interesting, actually. Goose. Let's talk about the Giants for a second, because I know you're a
Giants are
Giants.
so good. All the Giants are so good. It's ridiculous.
Goose has been bad of late.
What?
There's no getting around it.
Has he?
Well, last start, 4.1 innings, 6 runs against the
Oh,
Pirates.
that was cheeky unlucky.
Time before that, 3 innings, 2 runs, but he should go 6, and he threw 95 pitches. Like, he has to go more than 3 innings. He gave up he faced the Dodgers again and gave up 3 runs in 5 innings. He hasn't been like as sharp as we've seen him to begin the year. He's pitched tonight 4 innings, 2 runs at this point. Interesting to see. We'll monitor that mid-Sporkle, but interesting. But the Dodgers win this in 6 games, maybe 7 games. Dodgers win the World Series. I'm saying it now. Let me screenshot this document so in 4 months we can see that Kieran picked the playoffs perfectly like 5 months ago. Okay. Good stuff.
Okay, great. How is Gausman bad? I don't understand.
Tell me honestly right now that you think the Giants beat the Dodgers in the 7-game series.
Absolutely.
That's ridiculous.
I think Giants are definitely the title favorites right now.
The Astros are probably. The Dodgers are actually probably.
You just screenshotted a document that said the favorites are going to win the title. Basically.
The Dodgers. Game 1 is Gausman versus Buehler.
Gausman, easy.
Who wins?
Gausman.
That happened like a week ago.
About a week ago. He's going through some tough things in his life right now. Dealing maybe with some self-esteem, confidence issues.
But
you can pull it back.
Definitely not.
What do you say?
What have you seen? Gausman pulls, my guy. Goose off the field.
I don't know what you're talking about. But Gausman actually the best pitcher in second best pitcher in the MLB right now, probably.
Third.
Second. Behind DeSclafani. I just don't see. As soon as it hits the playoffs, the Giants are turning it up a notch. That no team's gonna stand in their way when the playoffs start. When the big bats come out, and when the sticky stuff goes away. I haven't seen anybody checked on social media, even though they're probably still getting checked.
They're getting checked every yeah. Huge baseball fan, this guy. Huge.
I watch every game.
You're an idiot.
Um. Okay, great. That's all the baseball talk I think I can handle for a day.
Okay, this is why. What? Just continue.
The NBA recently had a couple of cheeky good trades.
Oh yeah, they had multiple.
I think there were a few. First, the Lakers, most importantly, the Lakers, could have picked up Buddy Hield, but instead went for a different option, a slightly different option, in
Better
Russell
option.
Westbrook, a better option. Oh, why do you think that? I would say they probably should have pursued Buddy Hield a bit more. I think he's probably quite expensive.
They had Buddy Hield in the exact same trade, literally the exact same trade, right?
Was it the exact same trade? I don't think so.
It
It never went through. That. Why would the trade details be announced? Who said that?
It was. Woj was like, they're this close to Kuzma, Harrell, a pick, and then this some odd amount of money.
Wait, they give away Montrezl Harrell?
Yeah, that was the trade details, right?
Oh, no way. I think, okay, my sense has completely changed. I think the Lakers overpaid for Russell Westbrook.
I might be bugging.
Buddy Hield, Kyle Kuzma, and Montrezl Harrell were blindsided when the Kings-Lakers trade fell through. What about the Russell Westbrook trade?
It was Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, KCP, and the Lakers 22nd overall.
What a cheeky overpay. Oh, that's ridiculous. Oh, that's ridiculous. That's poor. That's poor. That would be an overpay for Buddy Hield too.
Russell Westbrook is better than Buddy Hield.
He's not.
He
I think Buddy Hield fits in so much better with the Lakers.
Yeah. I was gonna say chemistry is the only problem I see.
He's that cheeky kick out, Buddy Hield in the corner. It's easy for him. It makes that easy.
He went from like a very good three shooter to a very bad three shooter, but
a horrible one. One who probably shouldn't take anything.
like we have two big threes in the NBA now.
We do. One of them slightly smaller, but
what are our thoughts on them?
I think they're terrible for the watching, but I think the Nets are better. I think it's pretty easily the Nets are better.
What if we broke it down player by player?
Go for it. Would you rather? Okay, so the easy comparisons are Kevin Durant, LeBron James.
LeBron James.
No. What? Right now?
No.
LeBron James is better basketball.
Calm down. I know it's Kevin Durant. He's still attractive.
And then Kyrie Irving or Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, I was looking at his stats yesterday because I was like, oh, they just stole Russell Westbrook for Kyle Kuzma and some picks. First of all, they overpaid heavily, like I just said 4 times. He's so inefficient. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. He shoots like 42% from the field.
He's not going to be shooting as much.
What's he going to be doing?
Shooting less.
Rebounding?
And higher efficiency, hopefully. Taking better shots, getting better looks as the third.
That's Russell Westbrook's problem. He can't take good shots. He can't. It doesn't go through his head. He's like, oh, I'm kind of sort of open. Just shoot the ball until I get.
No, just pass it to LeBron James. If you're not wide open, pass it to LeBron.
No, LeBron James is supposed to be the Russell Westbrook guy who's facilitating, who's passing the ball around, making the play.
Fine, pass it to AD. AD scores all the time.
True. But is AD scoring 35 a night? No.
Yeah,
Westbrook's going to be putting up 12 and a triple-double probably, I would think.
Sure.
LeBron James will be putting up
20 and a triple-double. Right?
20 and a yeah, yeah, just about.
Fine, maybe 29 and 9. 9 and 10. 10 and 9. About.
Yeah, so 8 and 8, so something, whatever.
AD is probably putting up like 32, 30, maybe 30, 10 and 3.
Yeah, about. But
that's the best team in the West. Besides, maybe
I'm not sure because
besides maybe
the problem is they have zero depth. Where
The
is the
Clippers
depth?
are my pick to win
I
the
think the
West.
Warriors are better than the Clippers.
I disagree strongly.
With Klay Thompson back, I think
One
Klay
win
Thompson
away
is going
without
clinically
Kawhi, one win away
underrated,
without
overhated.
Kawhi.
The guy is so good. You haven't seen him in 2 years. The last time you saw him,
Yeah,
he was playing on
exactly.
injury.
Haven't
And
seen him
now,
in 2 years.
what do you
Really?
know? What do you know? Twitter is like, oh, the Warriors are so bad. Half of Twitter's like the Warriors are so good. Half of Twitter's, oh my God, Klay Thompson is terrible. Why are we even talking
What were his
about
2
it?
injuries? He's coming off 2 huge injuries. He's never going to be the player he was before. Didn't he
He
have an
shoots the
Achilles
ball. Did he have a hand injury? It was just leg.
with your legs?
It was his leg. It was his leg. He's fine.
It's his
It was
MCL
just
and
fine.
it's his ACL and his Achilles.
He
DeMarcus
won't be able to
Cousins
run.
never came back from
He
his
won't.
Achilles.
He won't be the same on defense. Sure, he still will shoot the lights out of the gym. I don't care. He
You
will
think
do
the Warriors win
everything.
the Western Conference? Say right now and I'll clip it.
Huh?
Say right now you think the Warriors are going to win the Western Conference.
No, I think they have. I think if
I just
it's
said
not
the Clippers
Lakers.
are going to win the Western Conference, and you said no, the
No, I
Warriors.
think the Lakers are.
You just said they have no depth. You don't win championships without depth.
No, they'll put together depth.
With what money?
They'll figure it out. They did it when they signed AD. With what money? We all said
They didn't have any depth. Rajon Rondo is not depth.
Rajon Rondo is at your backup is fine.
They
put together like 4 or 5 players that they
Who do
definitely
you
shouldn't have been
think-
able to get their hands on.
What do you think the Western Conference Finals is next year?
Warriors, Lakers.
Cap.
You think in a 7-game series, the Warriors are losing to the Clippers
I do.
with the goated Steph Curry that he is now?
Kawhi,
Free player in the
Paul
league.
George, and
all
a
of
better
sudden.
bench. Kawhi, Paul George, and a better bench.
In a 7-game series with better,
Versus-
you're saying better depth.
Who do we think has better
when
depth?
Kawhi Leonard, for the Clippers, it might matter because the Kawhi Leonard's only going to be playing 30 minutes a game. Paul George is going to be putting up as much as he can. Steph
Ron
Curry's going to be putting
doesn't
in.
do load
Like
management.
he does. He's going to have to because he is Kawhi's little toy right now. His tool.
Overtly, that's overtly said.
Kawhi Leonard does anything.
The
he wants.
coach-player relation.
Tyronn Lue will kiss his feet because he's the best player by far on that team. Tyronn Lue he'll bend over backwards.
Oh, just stop talking.
He'll bend over backwards to just have Kawhi Leonard do what he wants and play the way he wants to play. Because Kawhi Leonard is the boss in Los Angeles Clippers.
Kawhi wants to play 48.
You think Tyronn Lue is bossing around Kawhi Leonard, telling him he has to play 48 minutes a game?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Have you
Toronto's
seen that guy?
a
He's
top-tier
so
coach.
unassertive, it's ridiculous. He let LeBron walk all over him in Cleveland. Kawhi Leonard is the new LeBron. If he wants to take a load management, he'll take a load management. If
Not in
Tyronn
the
Lue is there.
playoffs.
Absolutely, he will. If he
Not in the playoffs.
if he wants to play 30 minutes a game,
Maybe in
if
the
he
regular
wants
season.
if he wants to play, maybe in the regular season, he's going to play 60 games in the regular season. If he wants to take 30 minutes a game in the playoffs, he will take 30
doesn't
minutes a
want
game
to.
in the playoffs.
He doesn't
does.
want.
He might.
He's a competitor.
He might. There's a good
He's
chance.
not going to want to.
Even if you're saying he's playing 48 minutes a game, 40 minutes a game, then depth matters even less, which is your whole argument.
Isn't Curry also playing 40 minutes a game?
He is. That's why
Yeah.
depth matters less because the
You still
starting
need
lineups are
depth, though. You still need depth. What is this nonsense?
Why? When
You're
they're playing
saying
when
depth
when
doesn't
your depth is playing 8 minutes a game, you don't need real depth. You don't need to gain 20. You don't need to get a plus 20 bench. You need to get a plus 0 bench who can just stall the game until the big boys are ready to come back into the.
But Clippers bench really won them the series against the Jazz.
It's the Jazz. They really shouldn't have that much of a problem, regardless.
Are you kidding me? It's Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, and like an actual.
You're telling me Rudy Gobert is a fair matchup for Kawhi?
Terrence Mann is their center.
I don't get. Terrence Mann played his heart out. I don't care.
Exactly. Terrence Mann, Reggie Jackson coming off the bench.
Did they come off the bench? No. Oh yeah, Patrick Beverley.
'Cause everyone was injured. They played. But imagine that off the bench. Versus who? Like Nico Mannion? Clippers
To be
second
fair,
unit
to
on the
be
floor
fair.
versus the Warriors second unit.
The Warriors do.
Clippers second unit
Hold
on the
hold
floor
hold
versus the
hold
Warriors
I
second.
don't know why you're saying there's no depth on the Warriors. Basketball reference. Let's see the Warriors roster.
Let's.
Golden State Warriors. Let's see.
Let's see.
Okay, you got Steph Curry. You got Klay Thompson coming back. Sure.
Not going to be the
Draymond
same.
Green. You've got Kelly Oubre. You've got James Wiseman. You've got.
Kelly Oubre is a free agent.
Is he? That's not
Yeah.
this. Oh, this is last year. How do I get it this year? It doesn't have it. They still have Kent Bazemore?
Not as good as Reggie Jackson. Ken Bazemore's also starting.
Reggie Jackson was a fluke, by the way. He is not playing that well this year. He averaged like
backup. He's a better backup than Nico Mannion.
I'm looking at this team. I'm not thinking, oh, this is what they really, really, really lack depth. That's not what I see when I look at this team.
Yeah,
I think this is a playoff contender
the
for
Clippers.
Finals contender for sure. Clippers 21.
Why don't we make an NBA tier list right now?
I don't have time.
We do have time. Let's make the same tier list we made for the MLB.
Okay, here you go. Your guards.
Can you screen share so I can see the rosters?
Sure. Here's the Clippers. This is a different. I don't want this. I want this.
You know I'm never cheering against Kennard. You know how I'd say that if the cameras were cut, but
Where's okay.
two unproven draftees.
Sure. It does matter how well
Andrew Wiggins is a bum.
Andrew Wiggins is better now than he's ever been, and I think you're just salty about that.
I'm so salty about that.
So salty. Okay, there we go.
Jordan Bell is fine at best.
Jordan Bell's solid.
What's their starting lineup? Curry, a Thompson who's never going to be the same again.
Oh, stop it. Oh, stop it. Andrew
Wiggins
Wiggins.
at the 3. Draymond at the 4.
Looney or Jordan Bell, yeah?
Kevon Looney at the 5.
Okay.
Who's the best player off the bench? No, James Wiseman at the 5. Kevon Looney's their 6th man.
You've got Kevon Looney. You've got Kent Bazemore. You've got Eric Pascal, who's fine.
None of these players are as good as Terrence Mann or Reggie Jackson or Nick Batum.
Nick Batum? Batum? What? This is who you're... This is your depth. This man. This guy's your depth, yeah?
I think he's better than Ken Bazemore, probably.
I disagree.
Yeah, 7.2 points. 7, 3, and 1. What was Batum again?
How do we unselect?
You can see his 2021 stats.
No, but I want to just highlight it so I don't.
7, 3, and 1. Let's look back at Batum.
And he does 45, 45, 40, probably 80. Then you've got Batum. Oh, shiver me timbers. 1 whole point more, if that's what we're going to go off.
LFG.
Wow, that's really impressive. That's really, really impressive. You know, I concede. He scores
But
1
who's
whole
the
more
8th
point.
man? Basemore's the 6th.
So what? Okay, so who's the 6th man? Pick the 6th man then. Don't pick Nick Batum.
They have money to sign players that I don't think the Warriors have, right?
You got 1 max contract. Klay Thompson on a max contract? I don't think so. I don't think a full one.
Like, yes.
Not Draymond either.
Draymond and Clay are paid still a lot of money. Like they
Like
remember the 2 years they had to they
like 2025, I swear.
What?
2025 mil. Not like a 35 like step.
Kawhi in a 7-game series, you think Warriors win?
Yes.
Warriors have struggled against Tyronn Lue in the past.
3-1.
Still lost once.
Yeah. Against the second greatest to ever do it. So
it's maybe the greatest coach in the NBA. If Greg Popovich retired.
I think Steve Kerr is probably better because they're both frauds.
Kennard, he's good. Oh,
He looks like a parrot. Looks like some kind of bird. Who's Kennard guy?
Does that make him bad at basketball?
I can't trust him. I can't trust him. He looks like a crazy person actually here. Jesus Christ. Looks like he's about to do something mad. This guy. Okay. Well, I think we've had a great discussion about baseball.
I think we have.
And also the fact that the Warriors are significantly
I think you're wrong
better than the Clippers. But that will be all for the Second Take podcast.
Woo. Come on.
When did we start? Oh, an hour ago. Well, thank you for listening. I hope you've had a splendid time listening in on our discussion.
I'm never gonna post it, so don't worry.
No, probably. I will. Okay, well, goodbye.